Let's start. So comfortable position through the feet. And we're just going to start with a nice little stretch. You can do this in external, you can do this with bent knee, whatever feels comfortable for your body. We're going to take our right arm, we're going to bring it up to the ceiling, we're just going to bend over to the left. And we're just going to get that nice stretch through the side, and we're going to lift that arm to the ceiling as we come back up to center, and we're going to switch to that other side. Bring that left arm up, reach up and over, and coming back up. We're just going to do this a few times. So just coming up and over, just starting to really warm up that spine, warm up that body. Other side. And up. And again, other side. And up. And again. And up. We're going to go off to that other side. So we're going to start to curl or bend over. We're going to hold here as we find that little stretch. We're going to take our arm that's towards the floor and we're going to place it onto the rib cage. And we're going to think about kind of pulling that rib cage up and then gently pushing it, like you're taking your opposite side of the ribs and you're pushing them away from you. And then from here, if you want more of a stretch, just look kind of upward towards the ceiling. And you should feel that stretch kind of happen through maybe the side of the back of the ribs. And then come all the way back up. Let's just do that on the other side. So let's bend. Find the stretch, then take that other hand, place it on the ribs, kind of push them up and out, really feeling that opposite side of the rib cage press away from you, and then take that head if you want and look towards the ceiling. Totally optional, right? Just find that stretch that's good for you. And then come all the way up, and we're gonna bring both those arms to the ceiling. So on Tuesday, we did this with a roll. So you're going to imagine having that big roll in your arms like you're holding it. And we're just going to bend again off to the side. We're going to start to scoop our belly as we let that imaginary roll come down towards the floor and then bend off to the other side as we lift it back up to the ceiling, and then we alternate. So we start in the other direction. We scoop, we round, and we lift. And again, up and over. And just kind of let your body flow. Don't worry too much. You want to keep the hips as still as you can, but don't worry if they're moving a little bit. One more time on the other side. And up and rest. All right, so if you have a mat, we're going to come to the edge of the mat, and we're going to begin with just a little bit of an upper body scoop. So again, comfortable position at the feet, hip width apart. We're gonna take our belly, kind of pull it in, pull it up as we drop our chin to the chest, and we just curl down through our upper back, right? So we feel that upper back begin to open, and then we just kind of hold here. We let our arms feel long and loose, and then we start with our belly as we pick that spine back up. Roll it up until you're back to your straight position, shoulders down. So let's do that again. Pull the belly in, curl, upper back, arms just hanging to the floor. And exhale, scoop up, lift, and set those shoulders back down. Again, and chin down. Little halfway, let those arms relax. Pull up on that belly, lift through that upper spine. One more time. And chin down. And coming back up, lifting, and setting those shoulders down. So we are going to go ahead and move that to a full roll down. So from here, we're going to start with that half roll down.
So I'm standing here because I can't roll down. Okay. Okay. So Cyndie is going to roll down. So she's rounding through that upper back. Now we're going to that kind of mid back, and we're really trying to curl that lumbar low spine. And then her hands are going down to the mat, but you can go to your shins, ankles, top of your foot, and then you're going to come up, right, roll up one more time. We're going to scoop, press into the mat, pull the belly up. So you're like trying to reach that spine up to the ceiling, breathing. Take that inhale, roll it up nice and slow. So you're building from that lowest part of the spine and stacking every vertebrae, trying to get the space between them as you roll up, and then shoulders come down, right? Okay, and she's gonna do it again. So from that very top, like a slinky's going down that stair, open up every vertebrae. You're trying to get that stretch, create the space, and you're trying to get that big curl right here in the lumbar. You're gonna press off the floor. See that big rounding, pull the belly up like you're trying to lift that spine, ribs are pulling up. Take that inhale and roll it up nice and slow from the bottom of the spine all the way up, hanging, relaxing. As the head comes up, the shoulders go down. That was so good, Cyndie.
Good job. I impressed the teacher.
Okay. All right. We'll try this next one.
All right, we are gonna go, we're gonna do that full roll down again, but we are gonna walk it out to our plank. So we're gonna just drop that chin down, and we're going to walk, or bring it again, all the way down, opening that upper back, the mid back, all the way through that lower back. Bring those hands, if you need to bend the knees, that's fine, otherwise keep them straight. Walk yourself out, coming to your plank position. Find that nice plank for you. So we always say the lower the hips, the more challenging the plank is, but you don't want to lower them to the point which you start to arch your back, right? We want to keep the arms or the belly lifted from the floor. So we're just kind of holding here for a moment and breathing. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. As you exhale, really feel your belly kind of picking up away from the floor. Feel your shoulders setting down your back and pushing gently away from the floor with the arms. Let's do 2 more breaths. And exhale. On last breath, when we exhale, go ahead and send your hips to the ceiling.
I'm gonna try this.
Okay, careful.
Okay, I'll try.
We're gonna keep our belly lifted, just like we were scooping it up off the floor on our roll downs. From here, you're gonna lower your heels to the floor, feeling that nice stretch through the calves. And then we're gonna pick them back up, just the heels, as high as you can, and then send them back to the floor. Keep that belly lifted from the floor, lift them back up. Don't feel the pressure. Inhale, lower.
I'm good.
Exhale. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Let's do 3. And 2. Hold on this last one. So we've got those heels really lifted. Our belly is lifted from the floor. You're going to try to keep your hips as level as you can, and you're going to go to a prance. You're going to lower only one heel to the floor, and then pick it all the way back up again. Then go to the other side. And up, and down, and up, and down. Pick the belly up as you pick up the heel. Lift the belly, lift the heel. And 4 more. Try to keep those hips from wanting to sway back and forth. Last one. And then we're gonna slowly bring it back to plank and lower those knees down to the floor. And just sit back. And you can let's just take a nice little breath here. So let's inhale. And exhale. And then we are gonna we're already set up. We're gonna go into a quadruped.
We're gonna do our footwork.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do our footwork. Sorry.
We got a little bit more.
All right, we're gonna come back up onto our feet. We're gonna curl up.
Okay.
And we're gonna do our footwork that I so happily forgot. Okay.
This is your one mistake allowed. That's it.
Right?
Okay.
I'm good. Got it out of the way early. All right, so from here, we can keep the hands on the hips. We're gonna take that left leg, we're gonna step away, and we're gonna put some weight into that, right? And we're gonna let ourselves reach through the back heel of our right foot. And we're gonna just bend that left leg a little bit deeper and kind of hinge forward till we feel that nice stretch through the calf of the leg that's behind us. So we feel that nice stretch. Good. And then we're gonna come back up, put some weight, so you're out of the stretch for the most part through the back foot. Put some weight into the front foot, and we are just gonna roll up off the heel and onto the toe. and then we're gonna set it back down. And we're thinking here, just like the spine, when we curl down and curl up and we think about that articulation of the spine, we're gonna think about that here as well. So we're gonna really think about rolling up through each and every bone in our foot, and we have a lot of them. So as we pick that heel up and we roll up to that toe, the higher you go onto the toe, the more you're gonna find that quadricep, or the calf muscle, right? The gastroc muscle. All right, we are going to add on here. This is optional. We're gonna do the exact same movement, but we're gonna try to take that back leg and bend it and come up onto the toe. So this is a lot more balancy, and we're gonna go back to doing that same exact thing with the front. Curling up to the toe and then setting that heel back down. So really thinking of that articulation of the foot. Don't just lower and lift the heel. Think of rolling up off of it and then rolling it back down. Let's do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and we're going to set that heel back down, and from here we're going to lift onto the heel of our front foot as we just kind of bend that back leg and hinge forward. So this is now going to be a stretch through the hamstring of the front leg, right? Now find a comfortable spot where you can hold it, and now we're going to roll that foot down to the toe, and then we're going to pick it back up again. Roll it back down. See if you can think about that articulation. As you roll it down, bring the ball of the foot down last. As you lift it up, pick up the toes first and then roll up to that heel. Roll it down and pick it up. Roll it down and pick it up. Roll it down and pick it up. 3 more. Roll it down and pick it up. And roll it down and pick it up. Last one. Roll it down, pick it up, hold, and pulse on that standing leg in the back. Little pulses, big quad work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, thanks.
I lost my balance.
Okay. We're gonna do that on the other side.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, I'm glad we didn't forget that. All right, so take that right leg, step it forward. So from here, right, we're gonna go to that stretch on the back leg first. So we're gonna bend that right leg. We're gonna lean forward, keeping our heel and our back foot down on that floor as we reach through the heel. Good. Come out of that stretch, just enough, right? You're still, front leg is bent, but we're out of that stretch. And we're gonna start with that roll up of the foot in the front. So we're gonna roll up off of the foot? Nope, sorry. We're gonna roll up off of it.
That's okay.
Oh my gosh, that's 2 mistakes. Oh, no. And roll it down.
That's okay. We've had some things happen today.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of a morning. And lift up. So really thinking about that articulation of the foot. Lift up. And up. Keep that belly lifted from the floor. Try to keep those shoulders down. Try not to let your body start to hunch forward, right? So you don't want to see, if I were in front of you, I wouldn't want to see this rounded back, right? Your back is straight, your chest is lifted. And 3, and 2, and 1. We're lifting, rolling it back down. Now, extra add-on. You can stick without the add-on if you want. We pick up the toe in the back. And then we roll again, up off the heel. And we set it down. And we roll up off that heel. And we set it down. And we roll it up. And we set it down. And here's my issue today, so I have to be careful with this side. So I'm gonna let Patty continue doing this. And we'll do 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna set that foot down, set that heel down behind you. We're gonna bend that back leg as we lift now the heel of the front leg, hinging forward till we get a nice little stretch through the back of that leg. And then coming to a comfortable place where you can hold the position. So I'm gonna stay a little straighter because of my little glute issue here. Patty's gonna go a little deeper, and we're just gonna roll that foot down. And now we start with the toes. We lift the toes, we roll up off the toes to the heel. We press the foot down, bringing the toes at the last possible moment to that mat. All right, so just up and down, and down, and up. Check in with your shoulders. Good job. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the foot down, bend a little deeper through that back leg, and pull. We can come up onto the toe of that back leg and pulse it out. Pulse, pulse. So big quad work here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Step back. Relax. All right, we're going to do one more roll down. We're going to come to our quadruped position. So what I was going to tell you earlier, once we were going to start this earlier, is if you have knee problems, please bring a chair in front of you. Just roll down to the chair. You can do this on the chair itself rather than on your knees, okay? So from here, stand nice and tall. Let's just begin with that roll down again. So bring that chin to the chest. Start to open that upper back, curling down to the floor, letting those arms just hang. Once they hit the floor, knees bent or straight, you walk yourself out, just to a point where you can set those knees down. All right, so coming to this nice quadruped position. So I'm gonna cue Patty on this one particular side. So from here, when we did this on Tuesday with the roll, and what we really wanted to make sure that people understood is we really mean it when you don't have to have the equipment to do this work. It can be just as challenging to do it without the equipment. So from here, she's gonna take her left arm and kind of bring it in front of her right. But she's gonna find a balance between her right and her left. She's gonna take her right leg and reach it behind her, right? And she's just gonna set the toe to the floor. And we're gonna think about this nice level pelvis. So from here, you're just starting with your scoop. So she's gonna pull that belly in, she's gonna round through that back, and then she's gonna straighten out her spine, really lowering those shoulders, connecting. Exhale, she's gonna scoop up that belly again. Inhale as she lengthens. And when you're scooping up that belly, she scoops it up, she's gonna think of tucking that tailbone right down to the floor. And then she's gonna really think of lengthening her spine here. And lift, we're just gonna do one more after this. As she lengthens her spine, the shoulders come down to that mid-back connection one more time. And back to straight. She's gonna hold. So she's gonna add in, same scoop, but she's gonna now take that right leg and she's gonna drag it in and scoop that knee up towards her chest. Then she's gonna send it out to a lengthened position. And exhale, pulling up on that belly, scooping that torso, lengthening the spine, shoulders coming down, mid-back. Exhale, scoop. Inhale, lengthen. And 3, scooping up. As she lengthens, the energy comes out of the crown of the head, the shoulders come down. 2, scoop. And one more time. We're gonna send that leg all the way out behind, hold. We're gonna slowly lower that toe to the floor. Keeping those hips level, she's gonna lengthen the leg as she lifts the leg up just until you feel the glute. Lower that foot to the floor, toe comes down. Tighten the belly, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, nice slow lift. Really find where you feel that glute connect. Tighten that belly, keep it lifted from the floor. 3, 2, she's holding on the last one. So right here, she's thinking about the length of her spine, the mid-back connection. She's holding, she feels the glute. She's gonna pulse that leg up, 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 up. If you want to challenge, you're going to come to that opposite arm lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. The arm sets down. She goes into a bent knee, flexed foot. So basically the bottom of her foot is facing the ceiling, right? She's lengthening through the knee, out of the pelvis. And she's gonna exhale as she lifts. Inhale, she lowers that all the way down to the floor. Exhale as she lifts. So just finding that glute. Maintaining this really nice mid-back connection. You can see the shoulders are completely out of her ears. Her neck is long, her eyes are at the floor. All of that is great, perfect position. 3, 2, on this last one, she's going to hold. So right here, she's still lengthening through the knee, she's pulsing it up. Belly is in. If you want more work, you take that opposite arm and you reach it out in front. Really hard balance when that knee is bent. 4, 3, 2, 1. She comes down, she sits back into her child's pose, and she rests so that we can get ready for that other side. And I can do the other side too. So I'll do the other side with you. All right, we're gonna come up into our quadruped again. So on this particular one, we're gonna take now that right hand, reach it in front, and just position those hands where you can really find the balance between the two, right? From here, we're gonna take that left leg and reach it behind. So toes on the floor. We're gonna start with that scoop. So we're gonna pull that belly in, rounding up through that spine, and then we're gonna straighten that spine out, dropping down through those shoulders. Exhale, scoop up that belly. Inhale, lengthen back out. I really like this scoop with the opposite arm in front. It really helps to maintain that position of the pelvis as we scoop up. But try not to use the arms or the feet to push you into the scoop, right? Those are light. All you're doing here is lifting from that belly button, pulling it towards the spine, and everything else scoops as you do that. Let's do 3. And 2. And 1. Come back to your neutral, make sure those shoulders are in place. From here, we're gonna scoop that knee in. Exhale, scooping that belly, dragging the knee into the chest. Inhale, send it back out, nice long spine. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Stay lifted out of the arms. Exhale, lengthen that spine, pull the shoulders down. Keep that mid-back connected on that length of the spine. Don't let the shoulders roll up into those ears. 2 more. And last one. We're sending that leg out. We're in our neutral. We're lowering that toe to the floor. We're exhaling. Lengthen that leg as you press it up, just till you find that glute. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Inhale. Keep that belly lifted from the floor. If your wrists are getting sore, you're gonna come down to one elbow down onto the mat, all right? Otherwise, stay where you are, And 3, 2. On the last one, we're holding. So hold that leg up there, pulse it up, use the glute. If you want more work, take that right arm in front. Keep that belly lifted from the floor. 4, 3, 2, 1, lower down. Bend the knee on that left leg. Foot is flat and facing the ceiling. We lower the knee to the floor. Exhale, lift the foot to the ceiling, but think of lengthening that knee away from that hip. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And down, and up. Keep that belly lifted, right? Really reach through the knee as we lift. Find that glute. 3, 2. Last one, we're lifting, we're holding, and we're pulsing it up. And if you want more work, we take that arm out. Really tough balance here. 4, 3, 2, 1. We lower down, we open those knees. We press those hips back. Nice big child's pose. Really push away from the floor. Push those glutes back to those heels. And one more breath. And we are going to roll ourselves all the way up. And we are going to go on to what's called stomach massage. So we are going to come to a seated position. We're going to bring those legs out in front. And this is a lot more core work and stomach massage than it was with on the roll. So we're going to start with those hands just kind of maybe right alongside you, maybe a little bit in front of the hips. And we're going to start by sitting as tall as we can, taking our pressure out of the arms, right? But then we're going to take our belly into a scoop. And as we scoop, we're going to put pressure into the floor with the hands. So as you exhale, you pull that low belly in, we push into the hands. And I feel like my hands are almost wanting, it's almost like they want to slide forward. Inhale, stand or sit nice and tall. Again, exhale, press the hands down and into the floor, almost like you're pushing them towards the feet as you scoop that belly out. Inhales, grow nice and tall. And exhale. And inhale, just one more. And exhale. And inhale. So again, same thing. This one, we're going to try to lift one leg as we scoop, very small. So from here, pressing into the floor, exhale. Inhale, lower the leg as you sit tall. Other side, exhale. Lower the leg as you sit tall. Just one more on each side. Exhale. And up, and up, and rest. All right, we're going to take those hands kind of behind you. We're going to start by bringing those legs into a frog position. Knees are open, heels are together, toes are apart. So from here, we're going to pull the shoulders out of the ears. And as we do that, I don't want you to straighten the arms. Your arms are going to stay a little bent. You're just going to pull the shoulders down. You're going to feel your chest kind of lifting a little higher. And now you're straightening that spine into a neutral. We're going to lean back slightly, lifting those heels, and then we're going to lower those heels down. Exhale, lift them up. So drop your chin a little bit, because I noticed mine instantly wanted to go to the ceiling. And pull the shoulders down. Try to stay in that nice long spine. Letting those hands gently press through that floor. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we reach those legs. And let's just do a forward fold stretch. So let's just grab a hold. Ankles, feet, whatever feels comfortable for you. And rest. Roll yourself back up. Okay, so this one, Patty, you like to do fists on this one, right? I like to do fingertips.
Yeah.
Patty likes to do fists.
Yeah, and I put my thumbs forward. That feels better to me, but you can
find what feels good for you. We're going to be putting a lot of pressure down and through our hands, and enough so that we lift our glutes off the floor. Point. Now, as we flex the feet, we scoop the belly. As we point, we grow tall. Glutes never get back to the floor, right? We're keeping those glutes floating. 2 more. Last one. Woo! And lower down. Well, those were fun.
Yeah. Good stomach massage.
Did that feel good for you?
All right.
All right. So we're going to begin with some roll downs. For those of you who are still working on the roll downs, we'll have a modification for you. But for the first part, you won't need it. So hands will come just kind of right next to your hips, and you may have to adjust as we go. We're going to begin by scooping our belly. Our elbows begin to bend, and we're going to think about curling down all the way to our elbows, nice and slow. Try not to round the shoulders forward. Try to keep them open. So from here, we're going to do a curl up. So as you bring your chin to your chest, you're going to pull your belly in, put pressure through the hands, and roll yourself up. Sit up nice and tall. All right, let's try that again. Scoop the belly. Bend those elbows. Lower down. And coming up. Exhale. All right. So for those of you who want to stay with that, go right ahead. We're going to start again with the same movement. Exhale. Scoop out that belly. Bring yourself down to the elbows. For those of you who would like to curl up from here, you just continue. Otherwise, for those of you that want to do a full curl down, reach those arms forward. Continue the rest of the way down. Arms come up to the ceiling, maybe a little behind. Exhale, curl up. All the way. Arms come up and forward, right? And we curl down again. Keep the shoulders out of the equation. Arms up. And up.
My back just
wow, is that a pop?
Yeah, that feels so good.
All right, so as we curl down this time, we're going to drag our right leg into a bent position. So as we start to scoop, it's heel or toe, either one. Curl down. Now, extend that right leg out to a hover. Arms up, and we're gonna curl up. And set that leg down. All right, so now we're gonna drag that other one. Exhale, scoop. Dragging that left leg in, slowly curling down. Extend that left leg, hover it out, and exhale, curl up. And both feet down for our curl down. Exhale.
Look at your socks.
I know. I lost my socks.
By the way, my pants are coming up. These rubber mats.
That's how you know you're doing it correctly, by the way.
Take my pants right off. Okay.
Okay, hands behind the head. All right, we're gonna keep those legs long. We're gonna begin with a curl up. Right? Oh, my clip is in the wrong place. All right, we're gonna begin with a curl up. So we're gonna keep our neutral spine, and as you exhale, you're just gonna lift your upper body, chin comes towards the chest, curl up just to look at those toes. Inhale, curl back down. And exhale. And inhale. And up. And down. Last one. And up. And down. We're going to continue with this, but we are going to drag one leg in. So we're going to exhale. Drag that leg in. Inhale, send it back out. Other side. Exhale. Try not to let yourself go to a scoop. Try to keep your belly in your neutral. Exhale. And one more each side. And last one. We're going to go back to the other side, but this time we're going to add a rotation. So you're going to scoop up that right leg. You're going to rotate to the right. And you can lift that knee at the very end. Send it back to the floor. We are still curling up to the right. Other leg pulls in, but you're still curling up to the right. Curl up. So you're dragging, we're going back to that other leg, still curling up to the right. We're dragging that leg into a lift. And still curling up to the right. All right, we are going to curl up to the right. That right leg is lifted, we're holding. We're gonna pulse it up. Up. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Curl down. We're again, now curling up to the left, dragging that left leg in, and to a lift. Curl down, still curling up to the left. Right leg comes in. So keep curling up to the left. And so our last one here, we're curling up to the left. Left leg is lifted, and we pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Curl down, long legs. All right, Miss Patty, you are up.
Take over. Okay, so we are going to come onto our sides. Okay. Oh wait, no, I want to bridge.
Like,
Sorry.
wait.
So we did all that ab work, and if you have any tension in the back, this always feels good to follow. Sorry guys, I was ready to work on that. Okay, so your knees are bent, all right, and your feet are comfortable on the floor, right in front of the sitting bones, and then adjust those shoulders, open up the collarbone, and make sure that kind of everything from the collarbones up is nice and relaxed, okay? No push into the feet, everything's neutral here. And we are going to take that belly, so you're in the neutral spine, take that belly and pull it down to the floor, just that center area of the abdominals, so the belly. Pull it down, imprint the spine, tailbone kind of picks up, and then you release, okay? So it's a lot of control here. So you're pulling that low or start kind of middle belly, pulling the ribs down, imprinting, and then inhale, rocking back, tipping back. We'll go one more time. No pushing into the feet, shoulders are open, inhale, release. So we're working a lot on that scooping today, which is so good. So we want to now pull that belly down, imprint the spine. The tailbone picks up. As soon as that happens, I want you to push into the heels and roll up through the spine. So when you get to the top, if you're feeling low back, you can lower a little bit, but otherwise I want you to squeeze those glutes, reach the knees over the toes, take that inhale, and now I want you to feel like you're just dropping one bone at a time on that back side. And especially when you get to that kind of middle low back area, take it even slower, and we'll go up 2 more times, okay? This should feel good. So belly pulls down, ribs pull together, squeeze the glutes, roll up, reach the toes, or reach the knees, like your energy is coming out those knees. Take that inhale, roll it down, nice and slow. Okay. So we are gonna bring our feet together. Keep the feet in that kind of neutral space from the sitting bones, and we are going to just press the pelvis up, okay? So I want you to squeeze those knees, inner thighs, try to connect everything from the big toe all the way up through the center of the body. Press the pelvis up, okay? And go as high as you feel comfortable. And then scoop and kind of pull that belly away from the pelvis. Now I want you to just lower, maybe you're halfway. Keep the squeeze between the thighs, release the glutes, and then press, squeeze those glutes. Inhale, release, exhale, squeeze. And as you squeeze, I want you to keep that inner thigh connection, lower, and exhale, inhale. Let's go for 5. Is that enough? 4. And you are really pulling those glutes together. Pull those inner thighs. Exhale on the up, like you're using those glutes, pressing into the heels. Here's your last one. Squeeze, hold it up. We're just gonna pulse, okay? So just squeeze those glutes. Keep everything active, and then just give a little bigger squeeze to lift the pelvis. We'll go for 4. Squeeze the inner thighs, and last one, and lower down, and take a quick break. We'll stretch after this. So we are going to, knees are gonna be together again. So keep everything together, and we're gonna let those knees fall open. And then you should get this big, big hip opener here, okay? And what I want is the soles of the feet together from the big toe all the way to the heel, okay? And you're gonna press into that heel. So wherever your legs feel comfortable, if you have to pull the heels closer, you're gonna press the pelvis up, okay? So while you're here, if you're pushing into those heels and pulling that belly, you should not feel any low back. We're gonna lower down maybe an inch above the floor, press into the heels and lift up. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. Inhale, exhale, press those heels. Inhale, let's go for 5. So really pushing those feet together, you should feel kind of that hamstring area. Squeeze. Here's 3. I'm counting. 2. You're gonna hold it up right here. I want you to flare those knees like you're pulling them down to the floor and bring them up. Exhale, pull. Inhale. So we're trying to keep that pelvis still. Exhale, press those heels together. Okay, and try to pull like somebody's pressing your knees to the floor. You're pulling the knees down. Exhale. Let's go for 3. Squeeze those heels, don't forget, and pull that belly up. Here's your last one. and lower down, and bring the knees together. We got one more thing. Okay, feet are comfortable. We're gonna press the pelvis up, feet are just where they are. Just hinge up with that pelvis, so press into both feet, okay? So get into that organized kind of position, shoulders are open. We're gonna start with our right foot staying down. Are you okay with that? Let's go left. We'll start with our left foot down. So pelvis stays right where it is. Bring the right leg to tabletop. We've done this before. Keeping that right hip up, let the foot lower to the calf or to the glute, relaxed. Lower the pelvis down halfway. On an inhale to prepare, exhale, press it up, extend with a flex, and inhale, let it fall down. Exhale, press, hinge down, hover above the floor, exhale. So I want you to feel like you're trying to reach the ceiling with that heel, and you're pushing off that left heel, squeezing that glute, trying to keep the right hip up. We'll go one more. Bring it to tabletop, place it on the floor, lower down. Okay, other side. Feet are comfortable. Relax, open the shoulders, press the pelvis up in one piece. Cyndie's gonna take a break, right? Okay.
I'm not gonna do this.
Yep, okay. So you could just bring the knee up.
Yep.
Okay. So we're gonna bring the left leg to tabletop, let the heel fall, let the knee come closer to the body. Lower the pelvis down, inhale, exhale, extend, reach, press into that right glute, lower, release. Exhale, extend, inhale, lower. Exhale, reach. So if you're really connected into that right heel, that right glute, that is what's pressing you up, and you're trying to keep that left hip bone in line with the right one. Squeeze. Belly's pulling in. Here's 3, and 2, and 1. Bring it to tabletop, set it down, lower down. Yay, you did it. All right, so let's do a quick stretch. Okay, so knees are just gonna come comfortable, feet on the floor. Let the knees fall to one side. And while you're here, try to relax. So when I tell myself to relax deeper, my knees even settle farther or closer to the floor. You're heavy, and just let it happen. Let it settle as you breathe. Focus on that kind of area that might be tight. And if you want to take, so I'm to the left side, I'm going to take my bottom left arm up to my top right knee. If you're on the other side, it's right arm to left knee. And for me, I'm just going to draw that knee in while I'm getting that big twist. So you should feel it all the way up here. So just go with what's comfortable. I'm even letting that hip lift up as I draw the knee closer. And then if you want to add that head turn, oh my gosh, it feels so good. These weird twisty moves. Bring the knee back in line with the other if you pulled it in. Bring the knees to center. Let's go other side. So start with shoulders down, head to the ceiling, looking to the ceiling. Let that rotation, that twist, that spinal kind of spiral of the spine happen. And as you breathe, the knees settle. The shoulders are relaxed. And then keep the position here. If that feels good, you can add the head turn. Or take that right hand to that left leg. So opposite arm, opposite leg. And then just find a deeper stretch if it feels good for you. So I like this big rotation. So sometimes with bridging, we get a little tension. So you want to get that rotation. And then add that head turn if you want. And then let's bring the knee in line with the other, and we are going to move on. So you're going to your side, and the bottom arm is comfortable. It can be bent or extended, okay? I like mine bent. That seems like a little pillow, okay? Nice and comfortable. It keeps the crown of my head in line with my tailbone also. So that's what we're going for. Straight line from the crown of the head all the way down the hip to the ankle. So you could shift that top hip toward the opposite way, or if you think of just lifting and pulling that side away from the floor, that's what I want you to do. We're gonna lift that left leg, and then that top arm is gonna place in front of you on the floor, okay, Matt? So you got a little balance, little kind of tripod, maybe not. All right, so we're gonna internally rotate in that hip joint, so it's not just the foot, okay? We're gonna take the toes down to the floor in front, And we're gonna pull the heel up and back, so it's a diagonal. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, get that little extra squeeze back. Inhale, so belly is pulling up. Inhale, down. Exhale, bring it in line with the other. Parallel that foot, make sure those toes stay pointing away. You're gonna lower, keep the rib lifted. Exhale, lift. So you should not be going big. Focus on keeping that toe pointed to the opposite wall. And last one here. Lower it down, point the toe. We're going external. You're keeping that rib lifted. Lift, lower, lift it up. Exhale, squeeze it down. 2 and 1. And we're going to repeat. So lift that top leg, internal rotate. Tap it down, pull it back. Tap it down, pull it back. I want you to squeeze back, try to keep the hips still. Here's your last one. Bring it in line, parallel the foot, lower it down, lift. I want you to focus on lifting from that glute medius. Here's 2. Don't let that rib cage sag. You're going to external, you can point or flex, lift, reach through that foot. 2, here's 3, and 4. We're going to that internal rotation, toe taps in front, pulls it back. This is your last set. Inhale, try to keep the pelvis still. Here's 2 and 1. Bring it parallel, lower it down, lift it up for 4. Here's 3 and 2 and 1. And point the toes, open up that hip, rotate at that hip joint, lift, lower, don't swing the hips. Here's 2 and 1, and lower it down. Okay, I was diagonal on my mat. Okay, so we'll take that quick little break. So from here, if you want to extend the arm for a little more stability, you can. Keep that rib lifted. We're going to lift and lower both legs. Pull those inner thighs together, lift. So your challenge is not to sag into that rib cage, right? So it may not be big. Lift, lower. Belly is pulling up. Use that waistline to lift. Let's go for 4 and 3. So you're trying not to shift back and forth on the hips. Last one, hold, hold, hold. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. That top oblique. Lower the bottom leg, squeeze it up. Lower, lift. Keep the belly lifted, keep the pelvis still. And 2, oops. And 1, lower the legs down, take a quick break. We're gonna use that bottom arm now. We're going to kind of press ourselves up so we lift that upper body up. You can use that front hand if you need to, but try to target the obliques. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift up. Shoulders in line with the hips, so you're not tipping forward. Let's go for 3 and 2. Try to lift out of the crown of the head so you don't have tension. Hold it up, pull that belly in, pull that waistline tighter, lower it down. We're gonna add a leg lift and then we'll move to the next fun. So lift those legs, inhale down. So you're trying to make that kind of banana shape. Lift is not funny. Okay, and hold it up here. Press into that bottom hand if you need to. Take that front hand off the floor, pull the belly up. Hold, 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 and lower it down. That was fun. All right, so we're gonna stretch. Yeah. How was that?
That was good.
Okay, good. All right, so bring that front top foot in front of your bottom thigh as you pull that bottom knee closer, and do what feels good, okay? So you don't have to pull it so close if it doesn't feel good. Heel coming closer to the body will be more intense. Relax the shoulders, open up that knee, okay? Just gentle until you find the stretch that works for you. And just try to breathe. Remember that relaxing. So as you kind of feel that stretch, then try to release a little bit. Get deeper into the stretch. If you want to shift that top hip back, kind of like you feel like you're sending the tailbone out behind you. Feels so good. And we're going to stay with that top leg bent in front. We're going to extend the bottom. Ooh. And we have really packed this class today. All right, so I want my top shin bent in that 90-degree angle, like you're sitting in a chair, right? And line up the shin with kind of the edge of the mat, parallel with the mat. Get comfortable with your head. And you're just gonna slide that knee out. And as you slide out, that top hip, just open it up. And for me, I'm just gonna gently press it down. And then slide the leg back. We'll go one more, okay? And press it out, just big hip opener, press it down, try to drop that hip down, and come back up. And we are going to, did we decide to do it this way? Yes, okay. So bend that knee again. Extend that bottom leg. You want to be straight as an arrow, okay? Toes reaching through to the opposite way. Let the head come nice and comfortable on the bent arm if that feels good. So you're gonna lift that bottom leg, okay? And you're trying to keep that bottom waistline lifted. So exhale as you lift. It does not have to be big. You can use the hand on the front or hand on the hip. Lift. Keep that belly lifted. Let's go for 4. Trying to stay on that sideline. Here's 2, squeeze it up. And 1, you're gonna hold. Hold, static hold. Get into that kind of organized body position. Reach those toes away and circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And guess what? Reverse for 5, 4. Waistline is light. 3, 2, 1. Lower the leg down. Take a quick break, okay? You're gonna flex the foot. We'll repeat and then we'll switch sides, all right? So lifting with a flex. Trying not to let that hip swing back and forth or tilt back. Lift. Okay, we got 4. You should feel those inner thighs if you're really squeezing up. And 2. And 1, hold it here. Hold, static hold. Ooh, we forgot that. Yeah. Circle for 5. And here's 2. And 1, and reverse for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower it down. My goodness. Okay, I have a special way for you guys to get up, all right? Should be fun. So let's bring the knees in, okay? That 90-degree top arm is gonna press you up. We're gonna swing those legs out in front like a hover as we press into the arm and switch sides. Ooh, that was so fun. Okay, ready? Here we go. All right. So we've got our legs extended. Our top hand is on the floor. Lift that waistline, reach through. So shift that top hip away, relax the head. We're gonna lift that leg, internally rotate. Tap it down, toes down, exhale, pull it back. Inhale, I want you to pull it back with that big squeeze, but don't let those hips rock back as that leg goes back. So press that top hip away almost as you draw the leg back. Here's your last one. Rotate parallel with the toe, lower it down. Squeeze it up. It should not go far and you should feel it right here, glute medius. Here's 2, squeeze with a big flex. Last one. You're going to point that toe, externally rotate in that hip joint, lift, lower. Don't let the rib cage sag. Belly's pulling up. Last one. Parallel the foot, internal rotate, toes down, heels up, tap out front. Pull it back. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more. Parallel with that foot, line it up, lower it down. Exhale, squeeze that glute to lift that leg. Here's 2 and 1. Point the toe, external rotation in the hip, lift and lift. And 2 and 1. And last set. Internal rotation, and if you need a break, take the break. Pull it back. Inhale, keep the belly in that rib cage, pulling up. 2 and 1. Parallel toes forward, lower it down, lift it up. Don't go external here. I see a lot of people always kind of migrating to that. Lift. Now you're going external with a point. Lift, lower, pull the belly in. Last one. And lower it down, take a break. Woo. Okay, get yourself reorganized if you want, okay? We're going to take that bottom arm long underneath us, flex those feet straight as an arrow, ankle, hip, shoulder, crown of the head. Lift those legs, lower down. So remember, we're not swinging and like pressing the ribs down. We're trying to keep them lifted. If you need to press into that top hand, Do it. 4, belly's pulling in, and here's 2, and 1, hold it here. Bottom leg lowers, lift and squeeze. Inhale, exhale. Trying to keep the ribs lifted. And 2, and 1, lower down, take a quick break. We're gonna add that upper body, okay? So as we press into that hand that's gonna slide on the floor, use that top arm also. Try to keep the head on an exhale, lift and reach the crown of the head out and up, and then lower down. And you can use that bottom arm. I don't want tension in the neck, so light in the head. So you wanna feel like you're kind of floating the head out and up, and you're really using that top oblique. Hold it here, hold, hold, hold. And we're gonna add leg lift with upper body lift, okay? So you're gonna lift and lower. So turn on that top oblique. Try to reach that head away from the toes, and you're gonna hold it up, right? Here's our balance. Pull the belly in, I just had to do that. And hand on the hip, woo, and lower down. Okay, good job. All right, we'll stretch real quick, right? Did I forget anything? All right, so pull that bottom knee in if it feels good, and you can pull it closer if you want. Draw the heel in as far as it feels good. Open that knee up, okay? Just a gentle little opening, and settle into it. And breathe. Are we good on time? Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna finish in 2 minutes. Oh, this might be our only stretch. Settle the hip back. If it feels good, send that tailbone out and away. And then right there, you're gonna lengthen the bottom leg. Hope you guys are sticking with us. We're almost done. Shin parallel with the mat. Slide it out. Drop that top hip, and if you need to, you can gently press it down. Just try to settle. And then slide it back in. We'll go one more time. Press it out. That top shoulder can even drop down to the floor. And slide it back. Bend that leg. Hold on, guys. Maybe 3 minutes. All right. Bottom leg extended with a point, okay? Lift that leg. Don't let that waistline sag. Lift it, squeeze that thigh. So I want you to lift with the squeeze of the thigh. Don't swing the pelvis. So you're trying not to shift that pelvis back and forth. Let's go for 4. Squeeze it up. Take that little mini pause. 2, 1, belly's pulling in. You're gonna circle. Reach through that toe like you're trying to draw circles on the wall. And last one, and you're gonna switch. Reach that leg long. Try not to let the ribs sag down to the floor. 2, 1, lower it down, flex the foot. Reorganize here. Lift that bottom leg with a flex, lower it down. Squeeze it up, use that bottom inner thigh. Try to keep the belly pulling in. Try to keep the hips still. Here's 4, 3, 2, hold it up right here, 5 circles. And here's 3, 2, 1, and switch for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the leg down. Oh, okay. Let's roll onto our back real quick. Let's do that kind of inner thigh thingy. So if you want to just open up and kind of gently pull the knees down to the floor with the hands, that feels really good. Yeah, it's fine. And then if you want to do the happy baby, grab the toes or the arches, pull the knees into the body, and release. And try to get that low back massage. Oh my gosh, just 1 minute over. Not bad. Hang in there because I want to talk to you guys. Okay. And pause there and just release. Okay. I'm going to make this just, bend the knees, go to your side. Use that top arm. Press into that arm to get yourself up. And you guys are finished. Okay.